the passion. This is Angel Carlton. Hey, Angel.
Hello, Dominic. So excited to be here on the Self-Achievement Network. So
We
very
haven't been on. I haven't been on for several weeks because I have been completely absorbed in handling my mom and dad's estate. So welcome everyone. Good to see you. Good to see Angel here. She and I reconnected again. Well, it was about 3 months ago that you were on, right?
Yes. We were talking about time management and using the calendar, and that was really helpful.
Yeah. And then so recently, Angel has made a little breakthrough in her life, and she's going to talk about that in just a minute. Before I do that, just for those of you who are watching, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. The Self-Achievement Network, we're about opportunity, giving people the opportunity to share about their achievements, self-achievements, right? So, Angel, let me put you're looking for your name. Where is your name? There it is, right there. Angel Carlton, but it doesn't show the Carlton. Why not?
Oh, you know what? I think I logged in as just Angel.
Ah, no wonder. So you're messing up my whole show over here.
Oh.
You're down in Florida, right?
Yes. So I made a huge life shift back in April. And I decided I needed something different. I need to shake up the snow globe of life a little bit and do something different. And after being cooped up during quarantine in 2020, and I just reevaluated a bunch of things in my life and decided my parents live down here in Florida, and I'm going to just put some stuff in storage. I got rid of most of my things, like all of my material possessions. I don't know what I was thinking, but I thought, I don't need all this stuff. I just don't need all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, other people could use it. So I gave it away or sold things and kept some sentimental items. But I'm like, I'm going to start fresh and be a gypsy for a while and just see where the universe guides me and really open myself up. And if I'm going to talk the transformation talk, I should walk the walk. And
That's
so
right.
I'm embracing change. I'm literally creating it for myself, jumping in. And so I moved down here in May, and it has been probably the best things I've ever done. Just because I'm stepping into the unknown, had no idea what to expect, and some amazing things have been showing up in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, so Angel and I met. She used to work with my wife, actually, and then Angel got another job, and she got me hired to work with her.
Yes.
This has been about 10 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was a major telecommunications company. We were doing leadership development, facilitating the first, second line of managers and helping change the culture at this major company and change the mindsets and transform the way they work and coach their employees. It was one of my favorite jobs in the whole world. Loved it. We had a lot of fun.
For those who are watching, you see the scrolling bar at the bottom. So Angel's passion is the same as mine. It's all about personal transformation, giving people that opportunity to relook, shake up the snow globe, right? Mm-hmm. And transform to whatever they want to transform into. And I think I have a personal experience of that. I know that you have, and you're the reason why we're here today is to talk about your next leap, your journey from Dallas to Florida and what's been happening there. But before we do that, I want to bring this up on the screen to show people what you've been up to, right? So you're an author. Where's my cheat sheet? I went to your Facebook page, and then I went to your website. And so you're a transformational coach. I got it right here.
Okay.
You're a radio host. You're a keynote speaker. You used to be a lovable which is the cheerleader for the Chicago Bulls, which is like a huge accomplishment. That really is amazing. You're a published author. One of your books is right there. We're going to go through that. You can tell us a little bit about that book in a minute. You're a leadership trainer, which was what we were doing at AT&T. Oops, at the major telecom.
Hey, I got in trouble for saying that or using it without permission. So
We don't work there
I
anymore.
would be careful with that.
Yeah, we don't work there anymore. So, and you're a numerologist at the same time, which is like,
that's my hobby. Yes.
right. So I remember you doing it with me, and I have no idea. I can't remember what the results were, but I remember it was a lot of fun. So this way over there for me, it's on the way on the right. Staying afloat during tides of change. I can remember you talking about that you were going to write a book. This was like right before or during COVID, the start of COVID. Is that right or no?
Oh gosh, this book I wrote when we were working together. Actually, that's
okay.
Right. I was writing it on airplanes when we were doing all the traveling. I was traveling back from Chicago to Dallas to wherever, and I literally started writing this book. It was a very stressful time of my life. There were a lot of change happening in my personal life, and becoming a single mom and just trying to balance everything. And I really started journaling quite a bit. And that's where the idea for the 6 stages of transformation really started coming through during a lot of meditation.
So you had like a major data dump. And
yeah, lots of epiphanies. Yes,
stages.
This was my first book, and it's a very easy read. It just bullet points and outlines the 6 stages of transformation that we go through when change occurs in our life. I really dissect this thing called change. What is it? How does it show up? How can I anticipate it instead of being blindsided by it, sucker punched every time it shows up, right. Having the rug ripped out. But it's like, I want to manage this thing. I want to know how to anticipate it and then adapt quickly. And then act and respond in a way that is healthy and beneficial and not stressed out where it tampers with my relationships and everything. Because we are going through a high level of change right now. It's coming at us pretty quickly.
Massive. Absolutely. So that was your first book. The next one I just put up, I kind of did it too fast, but Dedicated to Destiny. Tell us a little bit about that. And both of these can be purchased right on your website at angelcarlton.com.
Thank you. Yes, angelcarlton.com. They're available on Amazon as well. And this book goes into greater detail about the process. I really break down each of the 6 stages and offer helpful tools on how to navigate through those stages so that you understand what transformation feels like at every stage through the process. So it's, and you come out of it with a sense of purpose. That's the whole idea here, is to really get back on your path. A lot of people call this a spiritual awakening, higher consciousness. A lot of what we've been going through has, in a way, forcing us to wake up and go, what is happening? And those questions are good. And so that's what leads us to living more of a destined life. And I take the framework of the 6 stages of transformation and apply it towards helping people live out their destiny, discover their destiny.
That's great. Destiny is, I mean, life is short, right? So destiny is really important because it's what we're meant to do with our life.
I believe we all have a calling. We all came here. We all volunteered and said, yeah, I'll go check out planet Earth during this crazy, crazy time. I hear something really weird's going to happen around 2020. Yeah, you want to go check it out? All our little soul friends were like, sure, let's go. And here we are. You and I were there.
Let's go take a trip to planet Earth and have a good time.
Right. That's exactly right. So
that's awesome. So, okay. So you've got, and I think you've got a couple other books, but they were I didn't have time to get him up here, but we can talk about that at a different time. So you're also this thing called Power Up People, which is about your training that you do, right?
Yes, Power Up People is the company the umbrella in which I do everything. So
Mhm.
I have created a lot of programs for youth leadership, family enrichment, family empowerment programs, community enrichment programs, parenting. When my son Nick was growing up, that was my passion, and
Mhm.
to be in his world and help him become a leader of life. And then helping other parents parent their children in a way where we break some of the old patterns and paradigms that really don't serve us,
I
And
like that you just said that, because I mean there's so many insights that we all have, but I had recently had one that, it's like we are inundated with indoctrination growing up from everywhere, and I have met people along my journey that have been able to like cut through all that, and then do things that are truly amazing. And then I have also met people, and I think I've met more people that have gotten stuck by
yeah,
that dogma, that indoctrination. Like, she's telling me this, my teacher said this, my mom's telling me this, all this stuff going on. They're all just like, well, what should I think? Who
yeah,
should I be? What should I do with my life? And they get confused, so they get stuck. So that to me was a huge insight. And what we do to support people in transformation is to like get back on the path and then cut through all that. I call it crap and clutter,
hmm,
for a better word.
definitely, and provide a perspective and help them regain that vision. uh, Stephen Covey, I go back to that, is begin with the end in mind. What do you want it to look like?
Yeah.
What's the best version of the outcome you can possibly imagine here for your kid or whatever it is you're going through for
Hmm.
yourself, and start there.
Hmm.
And then at least you have a starting point, because you will just fall into the patterns of how we were programmed and what we know. And it's not necessarily been beneficial to many people. So yeah, breaking through all that stuff.
Yeah. I think that for me, I mean, just in my personal experience, there was a point in my life where I was stuck. I knew I was stuck, but I wasn't willing to do anything about it. And it wasn't until one day I was like, okay, I've got to make a change. I've got to make a shift that got me on the path. And it wasn't like, I was looking for a place to go or someone to listen to. I just decided I needed to change. And then all of a sudden, magically, for a better word, it's like I began to read books. I began to become more excited about my life. And then next thing I knew, I was involved in a personal development organization. I became one of their top facilitators, and totally transformed my life. So, everybody's got their own path and their own journey. And if we don't get on the path, we don't make that first initial decision. I'm the only one that can make that decision,
Yeah.
and it's like, when?
Point, was there a turning point? Did something, so you said something occurred in your life that caused you to shift? Or you just said that's enough? You just woke up one day and said, I'm changing this. I'm not.
Okay, you know this tool. We all know this tool. It's called the Wheel of Life.
Oh, yeah, yes.
And it's got all these different areas of life: personal growth, career, money, health, family, romance, right? All this
Hmm.
stuff, me time, recreation. It's like, for me, all of those areas were like,
Mm.
every one of them. I mean, I was like driving down the highway on a motorcycle, going to a factory job that I hated, talking to myself in the middle of winter, freezing, like, I hate my
Right? Yeah, that's what it takes. You had an epiphany. Just, it was like your spirit was crying out for help.
It was. It
You know,
was. So, yeah. So, I mean, we all have our own path. It's about whether or not we're willing to get on it, right, in the beginning. And then once we get on it, then that's when things begin to change. So you also do a podcast, Chicks Talking Shit.
yes, be careful how you say that. We are.
Say that 10 times really fast. Got a funny feeling.
It's a chick chat with my really good friend Alicia Rice, who is a conscious advice columnist, and this woman just has so much wisdom to share. And we, during COVID, we're having some really in-depth conversations about what's happening and working through the emotions that we were feeling, the confusion, the lack of trust in the media, like everything. We were just talking through everything, all the shift that we were experiencing. And I'm like, this conversation was so beneficial, so helpful. I wish somebody else could hear this, because what you're saying has so much truth to it, so much wisdom and perspective. So we decided to start recording them over Zoom. And then it became a podcast. Now it's on every podcast platform you can imagine. And it is in every continent. It is growing worldwide. We're actually getting more downloads in Europe than we are here in the United States. I wouldn't say more. I would say it's about equal. But it's really been interesting to watch it grow, and how the topics are resonating with people, because we're all going through some shift.
Right.
So we're talking about it, and we're raising the vibes. We're not talking about it from a negative perspective. It's like, what can we do about it? So we don't spiral backwards.
Very cool. So it's just go to whatever podcast, Spotify, Apple, Google, you name it, and Chicks Talking Shit.
Yes. Yep.
It's great. Well, good for you. That's awesome. So now, okay, let's get to the story, which is that, so now you're living down in Florida, close to your folks, I would assume close to, and you are in a new relationship.
Yes.
And so,
but that wasn't part of the plan.
It wasn't part of the plan.
No.
But you now, so tell us about this whole, like, your next shift, because we're all on a journey, right? So we have this, you had this shift in your whole something. What happened?
Oh boy, I wish I knew exactly what happened. But because I was open to not be attached to any outcome when I got here, it was out of boredom. I'm like, I need to meet some people my age and go out. I just want to meet some people. So I got online, Facebook dating. I've never done anything like that. Said I never would. And saw this good-looking guy who had a beautiful dog, who rescued him. And then I found out the dog was deaf. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this guy's got to have a good heart. I mean, special person. I will go meet this person. And I did, and had a beer on a Sunday afternoon, and we talked for hours and hours and hours. Just a genuine person who talked about the transformation that he had been going through. Our paths have been very parallel, and it was like meeting a kindred spirit that we just clicked. And can relate to one another on many, many, many levels. And so just cool dude, and just love his energy. And that's how that started. And
He's
so
a cool dude in a loose mood.
Yeah.
I've got a picture from your profile. I'm going to show it in a minute, but that's not the only thing that happened. I mean, he has his hobbies. You have hobbies, and one of his passions is running
marathons.
Okay, it's not just like
running
around the block a few times.
No,
my running was more like running to the grocery store, running to the bathroom,
running errands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right to the bathroom. Well, he's run 11 marathons now,
Wow.
and it's really quite impressive. He's of an older our generation, so that's pretty cool. And I knew part of my plan was to get into better shape. Been kind of lazy, did eat a lot of junk during the lockdown, and yeah, I could have took better care of myself. So that was part of my plan. So I was like, okay. And for my birthday, he bought me this Garmin watch. And I thought, what is this? And he's like, oh, you can keep track of all your workouts and your heart health. And I'm like, oh, how fun. So it's like a new toy, right? But it's also a little accountability buddy that I'm like, oh, I got to run today, And so you want to finish the run and you want to meet the goal, and it's awesome. And so I have turned into this little runner, which I've never been, but here I am in mid 50s, taking on this running hobby, and I'm into it. I'm really loving how it's making me feel, and now I'm starting to run races and things like that. I don't know about a marathon. I don't have any desire at this point, but
Mhm.
it's pretty cool.
So you had this influence. So you guys are hanging out, and he's like, "I'll be back. I'm gonna go do a run." And you're just like, probably, I can just imagine. I'm just sitting there going, "Oh, okay, cool." And then a couple of days later, Angel, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go do a run. And the next thing you know, you got your running shorts on, and you're running next to him.
Right. Yeah. And it's like note to self, before you date a marathoner, just make sure you're in decent shape to keep
So
up.
shall I put this photo up here?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the 5K we ran recently.
Recently.
He ran at my pace, which was nice. But yeah, he definitely pushed me. Yeah. So that's Brad.
So you
And
got new love in your life, transformation number 1, transformation number 2, you're running again.
yes.
Back to that. That's awesome. So you decided to train for a 5K, which is 5K is like 10, no, it's
No, it's like 3.8 miles or
3.4 miles, that's a long time.
not 3.8. I'll tell you exactly how much it is. Hold on. 3.1. Well, let's see. Oh, okay. Never mind. We don't have to take our time doing
Even
this.
so, I mean, because I
Gotta
did
get
a
on the
10K,
everything.
it was
I
like
should
5
know. He's
I
going to
think
be
a 10K is
disappointed.
like 8 miles or 6 miles. So it's like three miles, a little bit over 3
Yes.
miles. But
Yeah.
that's a long way, and especially, I mean, when was the last time you were in the groove of running?
Yeah. I can't tell you.
Yeah, it's been
I've
a long
never been a runner. So, I mean, I do yoga. I mean, I was doing kickboxing. That's how I kept in shape. Um, I'm a dancer, professional dancer, gymnastics when I was younger, but never running.
hmm
So yeah, this is a new talk about achievement. I do feel this tremendous sense of accomplishment of doing something new, which is good for the brain. And what I love about running the most, and running for 3 miles, you're out there for a good, well, 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the length of the run. And it gives me time to visualize. And that's what I utilize that time doing, which is also something I set my intention to do when I moved to Florida.
hmm
Really be more intentional about putting that visualization into practice, because I know how powerful it is. And that's been working. So that's helping me visualize my own success. creating some interesting outcomes as a result of that.
Yeah. And so you're in your mid 50s, which I think is a super inspiration for people that know that, well, they probably, they're watching TV or they're doing the scroll and they see people running and they're, and they're like, I know I need to get out there. And then one of these days I'm going to, and probably maybe next week and maybe not, maybe probably next year, who knows? And then, it's like you just, whatever pieces of the puzzle, everything lined up and boom, here you are, you find yourself running. You got to train a little bit. And probably the first time you went out running, you were like, what was that like?
Well, it was difficult, but the first thing Brad did was take me to the running shoe store. Okay. So if you're gonna do this, you need a pair of shoes. And the shoes I bought at TJ Maxx were not going to cut it. So, because they look cute, he's like, no, you need a good pair of running shoes. And that made all the difference. And so I have a pair of Hokas, Hoka, and they are like running on clouds. They're so cushioned and just that helps. But it's been challenging, but I see it's getting easier, and I see my heart health improving, and now my pace is accelerating. And it's easier to breathe. Like I could tell I'm getting in better shape. And Garmin,
yeah,
monitors all this.
You can see the dials, the numbers move, right?
Yeah, and I'm like,
that's cool.
What is that? So, yes, this has been a huge accomplishment and achievement, and he's been just an enormous inspiration for me.
So, about how long have you been back into running?
It's about, let's see, when did I start? My birthday was June 23rd when I got this. And then I started running in July. And then I got COVID in August. Didn't run at all. And then picked it back up in September, ran 40 miles that month, October, 46 miles, and then October, 70 miles in November. So, so I've been, I'm like, oh my gosh. If somebody told me I'd be running 70 miles a month, I would have went, yeah, right.
Exactly, right. So I can just imagine, right? So it's not just you just wake up or whatever, just put the shoes on and start running. No, you got to start planning your food, and you got to start planning, your water and, all this stuff. And it's like, you have had a transformation in not just your health, but your relationships with it's romance, and your family has gotten better, and whatever, right? It's
your energy level, everything. Yes. Feels good to sweat every day. And I interviewed Roger Staubach on one of the old radio shows that I did. And that's something that stuck with me that he said. I'm like, how do you stay in such great shape? My gosh. And he's just, his mind, everything super clear for a football player who back when he played hardly had any helmet, at all, or pads. He said, I sweat every day. I sweat every day. You work out every day and you sweat. And so, my former workouts, if I started sweating, I'd be like, oh, that's it. Workout done. Okay. I've converted myself. But now it's like, but now, running is that's a huge part of it. And it's really healthy to detox your body, especially, after having COVID, and junk is still lingering. I can tell. So.
Oh yeah. And your whole mindset I'm sure has just shifted incredibly about so many things.
Yeah, what I can and cannot do. It's like, what else can I do that I never thought I can do? That's the big one.
Right. Exactly. One of my great, my teachers used to say, you have no idea what you can do until you actually go and do it. And then, you can do it, but don't say you can do it before you do it. Oh, I can do that. Oh, sure. Yeah. No, I can run 70 miles in a month. No, you can't.
Right. Well, I had an expectation. I think I did my last 5K in training at 37 minutes.
Hmm.
I thought, hey, that's good. If I can do 35 minutes on this race, I'd be so happy just to beat that. Well, Brad, my running coach here, pushed me to the point where I did it in, as you can see here, 31 minutes. I didn't even know what he did. He tricked me. He covered my watch. He said, you cannot look at your watch and see how fast you're going. You can't look at your pace, can't look at anything. All I knew is my heart was, definitely in a higher zone,
Sure.
higher rate. But the pace was definitely one of my better paces. And but you're zigzagging through people. So you're running faster, not really knowing you're running faster.
Hmm.
Because you're trying to get ahead of all the people.
Yeah.
So you're just not running around the neighborhood
Sure.
at a regular pace. So it was good. But yeah, I am so proud of these results for not being a runner.
So help us with these numbers here. So I'm looking at them at the top. It says 5K, obviously, female, age 55 in Florida. Okay, great. What does that say there? BIB?
That was my bib number.
What does that mean?
That's the little bib that they give you, that pin.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah,
And then
so that's how they track your stats, your status. So they know when you cross the starting line and they know when you cross the finish line, and that's where they come up with this on their app. So
okay, and so that's all through the Garmin. It knows.
no, this is not through Garmin. This is the race. The people that hosted the race tallied all this. So there were 1,700 people, 1,779 runners. I was the 741st to finish the race, and 20th out of the females my age, in my age group, 62. So I have nowhere to go but up from here. And, I could see running being a lifelong thing. I really can.
So
These older women running beside me, and they're like in great shape. I'm like, wow, that's fantastic.
So I mean, was the goal to do a certain time, or was it mostly to just get over the finish line?
Just finish. Just say
Yeah.
it. But then you look at the numbers, you're like, oh my gosh, so now I got to beat that one. We're going to Sarasota in a couple of weeks, run another one. And that's the other thing. You have to have another one to look forward to, because you train and then you run the race and then you're like, now what?
Yeah.
You got to have another one to look forward to continue the training program.
Well, that's fun. So
it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
So you get in the car, you get there the day before or whatever, and then cool.
Yeah, definitely. I highly recommend it for you and Diane.
Yeah, we're getting through it. I mean, we're just as I said earlier, we just started our lemonade diet on Monday, so we're going through the detox thing, and I don't have it in front of me, but it's a lot of water, a lot of lemonade. Lemonade consists of fresh lemon juice, some pure maple syrup, cayenne pepper, and that's it.
Yeah.
And water. So
and it works.
Stuff. So that's our first step, is to get the clean out. And I'm sure like most people, they eat pretty good. I don't know. I always eat pretty good, but then after 6 months, it's like, okay, it's time to clean the pipes. Yes. And that's what I learned a long time ago. It's like most people don't. I shouldn't say most people. I didn't before. I didn't clean the inside. I just used to. I mean, I would eat anything that I wanted to, and then of course that would accumulate in my body. I take a shower, of course, every night, but to clean the inside is a different story. How do you do that? So that's why this lemonade thing. It's called. You can find it on the internet. It's called the Master Cleanse.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
anything like that, just to clean the system out. So that's where we're starting, and we're going to do it through about another week. And then we're going to take a little chill pill for the holiday, and then we'll get back on it beginning of January.
That's great. It just reboots the whole body. It cleanses organs because there's so much stuff, toxins and stuff that we're in our food and in the soil and that we're putting in our bodies that are making us sick. And so when you can do a detox program like that, I like to do one every year, just to cleanse myself of all the junk. I think it's
Mhm.
preventative medicine. It really
Well,
is.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty normal. I mean, it's so like you said, every year, and we were doing it like every 6 months. So it's like do the detox, get back on the program, start, get back to the fresh vegetables and the fruit and all that stuff. And then as time goes on, it's like, oh well, I'll just have a little cookie.
Yes. Right. And then the brain's like, sugar, sugar.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So the next thing I know, it's like, man, I'm ready for the detox again.
Yes. Yeah. That is what's fascinating about it. After you get off the cleanse, your body just craves healthy food. And to even look at a commercial with junk food in it, or, a greasy hamburger, or,
Mhm.
it's like, it
Mhm.
doesn't seem appealing after that, because your brain has been kind of reprogrammed, and
Right.
your body you just want to put in your body what it's asking for. And that's just,
Exactly.
yeah,
I
that's,
like that.
you're
It's
inspiring.
asking for fresh fruits and vegetables and healthy, whatever,
Yeah.
mostly mostly vegan diet, whatever. And then there's that 20%. So, but yeah, I mean, we all go through it, and I think when I saw that you had started running again, I was like, I want to capture that story because it really is inspiring. Because it's like it is a transformation, even though it may just be in one little section wherever it's at, health, right? That's one great place where it starts. And all my mentors in the past, they always said, start with your body, work on your body, because you can have control over that. We have control over what we put in our mouth. We have control what we do with our exercise time, all that. So, but that's great. I want to say congratulations. Good for you. Thank you for sharing that great story.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share. It's in a time where mental health is top of mind for a lot of people, our own emotional well-being. I think it's really important that we do more physical activity, start moving the body, so that to help balance ourselves in these very confusing times that we're living in. So,
Confusing they are. And
yes.
not just here in the US, it's all over the world. I mean, when I turn on the news, it's like, OMG.
Yeah.
Wow. Look what's happening. There's so much in
Yeah, it's like we're all shaking our heads like, "What next? What really?"
exactly. Exactly.
And we don't know what to believe, who to trust, it's like, what has happened? What has
Mhm.
happened? Yeah, our last podcast, we talked a little bit about going back down memory lane and what life used to be like in growing up in the 70s and 80s, where there were no cell phones. Technology was not a big influence on us. You know, we watched the news to get actual news.
Yeah.
and and it's just so different now, and just so different. So
Mhm.
it's something to be aware of. I think all of us have to level up in our awareness, to see what's going on around us, and then shield ourselves from the negativity, so that we don't allow that to become part of our persona. And
Mhm.
we need to keep ourselves in a positive, optimistic place.
Mhm.
And that's how we raise the vibe on this planet. At least that's why I'm here.
Mhm. I agree.
Yeah.
I can turn on the news and I can flip different news channels. And the thing that I mean, I pride myself on that I can stay detached from, because I can hear what this person's saying. I can hear what this person's saying. And I'm like, that guy's full of crap. And that woman's full of crap. And this one person seems like they're telling the truth. But it's like, as long as I can kind of stay detached from it and
Yeah.
not get caught up in it. Because what I see a lot, I'm sure everybody does, is like people get caught up in the, in the emotion of it. Well, you can't say that, and that's not really true, and you don't respect my rights, and all this stuff. And next thing you know, it's like, where's the focus? It's
Right.
outside,
Yeah.
right? So what you've done is refocused, your energy back here,
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
bring it back to, something that you have total control over,
Yeah.
which to me is super inspiring. So thank you.
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you, Dominic. And yeah, I hope to see you on the airwaves, Self Achievement Network, getting back to it and bringing more people into the circle and sharing of what so many people are doing out there to make this place better instead of tear it down.
Yeah.
I really enjoy everything that you're doing. So thank you for doing the work that you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have a fabulous rest of your day. I will see you soon sometime. Have a fabulous Christmas holiday, Christmas, New Year's. We'll be back.
Yes, sounds great.
Okay. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you guys. Take care. Be well. Have fun.